McClellan. I live here in Gilbert, and my kids have gone to Gilbert Public Schools. I heard a couple of things last week at the meeting concerning the parent supplementary / curriculum material committee that you folks are considering that kind of bothered me. One of the things Mr. Colvin said was that he would like a pro-American, pro-family curriculum, and I don't think anybody would disagree with that. Mr. Colvin, like you, I agree with Ronald Reagan's statement that America is a shining city on the hill. This is a great country, and we all know that, and we should be happy to wake up every day in this great country. We saved the world from totalitarianism, we saved the world from fascism, we fed the world. We're a great country, and we should celebrate that, and our kids should know that in the classroom. And if they don't, shame on us. But my concern when I hear pro-American, pro-family is that we want to whitewash history. And so, do we avoid talking about internment during World War II? Do we avoid talking about slavery much during the Civil War? Do we avoid talking about the IRS using their powers to investigate conservative groups in social studies classes? Those are all warts on our history that our kids should be aware of. And when we hear, or at least when I hear the phrase pro-American and pro-family, I wonder just what that means. The other concern I have is with the committee's task of reviewing curriculum materials, specifically supplementary materials. I heard Mrs. Smith say that she had read a book that apparently several parents found objectionable, including you. The title wasn't mentioned, but that I guess is for a later time. There are a lot of books out there that are objectionable to a lot of parents. And I assume that Gilbert schools, like many districts, have an opt-out that if parents don't like the book, they can choose to have them read an alternative book. And I know that Gilbert has a list of the novels that are in each of the schools for each of the English classes. But as I listened to Mrs. Smith and others last week, I thought about a book I taught for 36 years in Mesa schools, and I know it's taught here in Gilbert schools because my son back there read it a couple of times in Gilbert schools. A book that has been banned as much as any other book in modern American history. A book that deals with lynchings, slavery, murder, has single-parent families as a hero rather than an intact family, and it's been banned repeatedly. It's also one of the most popular books in American literature. It's To Kill a Mockingbird. A great book. A book we all should read again and again. A book like this should not be censored, should not be removed from a list. No book that professional educators have thoroughly looked at should be censored from any list. Thank you.
I do wish to clarify that I have never asked to ban books. All I have asked for is to have information available to parents for the opt-out, like he's stating, so that they have more information at their hands on the actual content of the book. But I've not heard of anyone calling for a ban on books, but I do appreciate your comments, Mr. McClellan.
And Mr. McClellan, since you've addressed me by name, I'll respond directly. As distressing as it must be for you to have people on the school board who self-identify as conservatives, I still think that we have a voice, that the current makeup of the board really does a pretty good job of representing the diverse makeup of our community. It's funny, I agreed pretty strongly with most everything you said there. In fact, it's our warts that can teach us the most about history. And so I'd like to see those things taught. It's my vision of the Founding Fathers and their original formula for the success, creating the first free people in modern times, that I think I'd like to see taught in a more accepting setting that's often missing. In fact, as you've talked about, we have, as a nation, saved the world from fascism, from communism, from many of those things that are governmental excess. Yet at the same time, we find ourselves at this point in history where we as a nation are running a great risk of falling into those various things ourselves. We're failing in our mission. Some people would hold the public schools accountable for their role in that. And I think individuals like myself have been elected to the school board. What can we do to turn that trend around where the schools can be in a leadership role of reacquainting our citizens with where did our greatness come from? I don't think that's anything to be ashamed of. And I think that is part of our responsibility as a school board. So, And I'm very grateful for how much you and I apparently agree on all that.